Hey, good morning, YouTube, man. How you guys doing today? Well, good morning, good evening, whatever fucking time of day it is. It is me again, your favorite Texas trucker, and I'm kicked back at the Spaceway Travel Plaza in Mississippi, not too far from Meridian off I-20. One of my favorite stops. It's a hole in the wall. But it's a nice place, man. I mean, it's outdated. Inside is definitely not awe-inspiring, but the food is fantastic. The parking lot is huge. I ain't never been here and not found parking. And, I've come in this place. Most of the time I get here 11 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, stuff like that. Today I actually got here pretty early, about 7 or so. Got parked, did my post trip, went inside, grabbed something to eat, and I'm gonna head on back out in the morning. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick update. I think maybe I'm gonna go ahead and put this off in the internet zone and get it uploaded to YouTube tonight. Kind of getting up there on my data usage, so I'm not going to be doing too many videos to post this time out. So we'll do this one, and then I probably won't do another one until I get home. But I just kind of wanted to throw a quick update, and then I got a little something on my mind. First off, things been going good, man. I've run this whole week. I haven't had a single, well, I ain't gonna say a single problem. I haven't had any mechanical problems with my truck. I picked up a screwdriver in my drive tire, one of my brand new drive tires. Picked up a screwdriver, broke the head of it off in there. Don't know where it come from, don't know how I picked it up, but man, I was losing air. I was having to put about 60-70 pounds of air in the truck every day. I've got a airline that I can hook up to my Glad-An, so every morning I was airing the truck up, and every evening it was low on air. I finally got a chance to get it to a Petro, and I came home to Weatherford and took it down there to the Petro and got it fixed. $66 fucking to patch a tire. Boy. But anyway, other than that, I haven't had any major problems. And if picking up a screwdriver head and the tires the only problem that I've got, hey, I'm not going to complain. I'm happy with it. Truck's been running good. It's been running strong. I will say that a while back, if you remember, I broke the clutch arm underneath that goes from the clutch to the pedal. There's two arms. One is a idler control arm, and the other one is your clutch control. Anyway, when they put it back on, it knocked my clutch brake completely out of adjustment, and I was having a hard time getting it to shift into gear from a park neutral position. So I took it back up there. I also had them lube the truck that night, and they only lubed about a quarter of my truck. So when I realized how little of my truck actually got lubed, I went down there and complained about it and the clutch, and they re-lubed the truck and then adjusted my clutch and screwed it up even worse. So for the 3 or 4 days I was running around, I couldn't get it in gear from a park neutral position. I had to grind it into gear. I finally when I went in to get this tire fixed, I went in and I talked to him again. Well, the head mechanic, the guy that's over all the mechanics there, his name's Steve. He's a really good dude. And he's like, hey man, I'll fix it. We're not going to charge you for it. You've been in here 3 times for this. I'll get it taken care of. 15 minutes. He had it took care of. My clutch is back in order again. Everything is working fine. It didn't cost me anything to do that. $66 for the tire. So I'm going to say the $66 was for the clutch adjustment, and I'll feel better about paying $66 to get a patch on the tire. Anyway, that's done, and that was the only issue that I had. We've been cruising pretty good. I had 2 days at home this week. I picked up in Beaumont, took it to Fort Worth. Well, the night before it delivered in Fort Worth, I took it home. I went home, spent the night at home, delivered it the next day, took the kid out with me. Scooter, he went out with me, and then when I came back, when I delivered that load, that's when I took the truck down there to Petro to get the work done to it. And then I went home for the night, picked up in Garland, which is between Dallas Fort Worth, picked up in Garland, and now I'm on my way to drop that load in Atlanta. So that load will drop in the morning, and then I've got another load I'm supposed to pick up in Atlanta and take to North Carolina. I'm taking it to Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, and so after that, I don't know where I'm going. But that one's also supposed to deliver tomorrow, so I'm going to deliver this load, and then I'm going to pick up a load and deliver it tomorrow. And then from there, who knows? The DOT inspection blitz is over with tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of it. Knock on wood. If I have any wood, I got fake wood up here. We'll knock on wood, and we're gonna hope that I'm able to get through this without getting jacked with. This, I had to watch that. This dude was about to run smack dab into this truck. Anyway, so far so good. I've been pulled into 2 weigh stations, one in Louisiana and one in Mississippi, and so far I have not been pulled in for inspection yet, so all is good. I guess there's one other thing. My brake air supply has just popped out, which reminded me I've got one other issue with the truck, and that is that somewhere I've got a slow air leak. I'm not absolutely positive, but I think it's the leveling valve in the back of the truck, all the way back on the back tail. The leveling valve right there, there's where it's connected, it's broke, and if you barely tap it, you can hear air leak from it. So I'm gonna have to get a new leveling valve. I'm gonna try to get through with it. I mean, it doesn't lose air when I'm driving. It just loses air when I'm parked for a while. After a couple hours, it's sitting at 30 psi. It's 8:57. I got here at 7 o'clock, so right at 2 hours, it's dropped down to 30 psi. Not all that great. It's not a safety issue, I don't think. So and I don't honestly think that anyone can find it. I found it because I was jacking with it and noticed that it was broke, and when I touched it, I heard the air come out of it. So I'm pretty sure that's where my air leak is coming from. So I'm planning to buy a new leveling valve and replace that when I come home this next time. Hopefully I can make it home without having to do it out here on the road. It looks like I got a Werner truck fixing the back end next to me here, so hopefully he won't hit me. If anything, it looks like he's going to hit the truck next to me. So anyway, that's the update. There's nothing really bad, just a couple little more minor things I got to work on with the truck. But I told you I had something on my mind, all right, and I do. So I'd like to share that with you here for a second if I can. All right, I've been pretty open with everything I've had to go through out here as an owner-operator, buying an older truck, getting out here and doing this. It's cost me a lot of money. And I've told you all flat out that there's been times where, it's kind of gotten me down, and it's been frustrating because I came out here to make money, not spend money. And but you got to spend money in order to make money. So, it all kind of works out. But I've told you that it kind of gets me down a little bit, and that y'all have been a great support, and y'all have really kind of kept me going. But one of the things that I want to say is and that's to people that are going to be getting into becoming an owner-operator. And I'm speaking to those people more than I'm speaking to the people that are trying to become lease purchase operators. There is a difference, okay? It may not be a huge difference, but there is a difference. So to those guys that are wanting to be an owner-operator, everything is on your back, all right? And you're responsible for the payments on the truck, the insurance on the truck, depending on what company you lease onto, you're going to be responsible for tags, permits, and maybe even more. There's a lot of expenses associated with it, but most importantly, you're going to be responsible for the repairs on your truck. And those can get pretty extensive, pretty fast. All right, and so one of the things that I kind of want to encourage you with, or at least to inform you of, to kind of, give you a heads up in advance. Let me roll this window up while I'm doing this because it's getting kind of loud out here. But one of the things that I want to say is that it can get overwhelming pretty fast. Okay, all the expenses, all of the repairs, they add up, and they add up fast, and you can get to the point where you're sitting out here and you're spending money, like it's just going down the drain, and it can really get overwhelming. And so what I want to say is that if you're going to come out here and do this, you need to keep your eye on the big picture. Okay, what I mean by that is that over time, especially when you first start out, you're going to have a lot of expenses that you really weren't necessarily planning on. You get out there and you look at your truck, you inspect your truck. There's not a whole lot wrong with your truck. The problem is that when you settle on a truck to buy, you won't really know what the problems are with it. You won't know what to expect out of it until that truck has been put under stress. Okay, it's when that truck gets put under stress and it gets put under the daily grind, if you will, that the problems start to manifest. All right, and they'll start, if you're lucky, they'll start small. All right, but it's like every time you fix something, something else breaks. Every time you fix something, something else goes out. And I've said there's a lot of maintenance that I want to do to this truck, and I wish that I could get to the point where I could do the maintenance that I want to do and not do the maintenance that I have to do. All right, I've said that I want to be proactive about the maintenance on my truck and not reactive about the maintenance on the truck. And right now I'm still being reactive. I'm still fixing things as they break. I'm not fixing things before they break. And so it can get overwhelming fast, and you can get into this, you can jump into this, you can start doing this, and then as those things start building up and those things start racking up, you can find yourself questioning whether or not you made the right decision. And so this is what I want to say, is that there's a big picture, and the big picture doesn't include all of the little minor detail. Well, I mean, it does include them, but the big picture is above those things. Okay, what's the big picture for me? Okay, let's start with that. The big picture for me is beyond me just owning a truck. The big picture for me is me owning a fleet of trucks. All right, and how big of a fleet, I don't know. I can't answer that right now. It might be 2 trucks, might be 5 trucks, might be 10 trucks, might be 20 trucks, it might be 100 trucks. Hell, I don't know. I doubt it'll be 100 trucks. But the thing is that I'm not doing this for me. Okay, in a sense, I am doing this for me. I mean, I want to make money. I want to provide for my family. I want to succeed. But that's not what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for my boys. I have 2 boys. And my boys, I want, when I'm done in this world and God's done with me, and and I go home, I want something left behind for my boys. I want my boys to have something that they can rely on. Now, my oldest boy, Robert, he's not too interested in trucking. He's in the cadet program to become a fire rescue EMT, and I'm really proud of him. He's going to be going to school to become a LVN, a nurse, and then an EMT, a paramedic. So I'm really proud of him. He doesn't have a lot of interest in trucking, but he understands the value of having that to fall back on if he needs to. And so I'm going to teach him to drive a truck, and we'll get him his license. He may or may not ever use it, and if he doesn't use it, he'll eventually lose it, But the bottom line is that when I leave, that half of this business, or part of this business, is going to be his. Okay, and my other son, Andrew, that boy there is 100% trucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, he ain't but 11 years old, and he knows more about trucks than most of these guys out here. I'm really proud of the kid, and he's the one that comes out with me all the time when I go to work. And he wants to be a truck driver and wants to be a diesel mechanic. So we're going to work on him becoming a diesel mechanic, and then when I leave, he'll probably be the one to take over the business, and he'll own half of this business. So that's the big picture for me. All right. So when I'm sitting here and I'm getting caught up in the minor things, the starter, and having to replace it twice in one day, and all the minor things that go wrong with the truck, I can easily get overwhelmed with the small expenses. I can easily get overwhelmed with the fact that I had to pay $5,000 for tires. I mean, that's staggering, but when you look at the big picture, it's a minor drop in the bucket. Right now it's a staggering problem. I'm saying I don't have $5,000. But in the big picture, when you look at the big picture of it and you figure, well, ultimately the goal is to own 5, 10, 12 trucks, Hell, if you own 10 trucks and it's $5,000 a truck for tires, you're looking at $50,000, So, when you look at it like that, $5,000 for tires, it's not that much money. And then when you look at the legacy that I'm trying to leave behind for my boys, you look at the fact that when I'm done in this world, they're going to have a trucking business, that's going to be bringing them residual income. They don't even have to do anything. All they have to do is manage it. And, and you start to see a bigger, wider goal in sight. And that bigger, wider goal, it makes it a little bit easier to look at the current situation and say, okay, well, I understand that the money that I'm spending out right now is a big deal right now, but over time, I'm going to get through that. This truck earns a lot of money, okay? But in order for this truck to earn money, this truck needs to be taken care of. This truck needs to be taken care of. It needs to be kept in good condition. And, and if it's kept in good condition and if it's taken care of, it'll continue to earn money. But I'm fighting an uphill battle at the moment because I don't have the money to put into the truck that the truck needs. I've got to earn it a little bit at a time and do it a piece at a time. It kind of reminds me of the Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time, except this ain't a Cadillac, this is a big ass semi. So what I want to say to you, if you're going to get into this understanding that there's a really big cost, okay? There's a big cost associated with it, and you can go down and you can get you a truck, and hey, if you want to buy a brand new truck or a newer truck, hey, that's on you, you know what I'm saying? I don't choose that route. I choose an older truck, and my next truck will be an older truck. It may be, somewhere down the line I may enter into that newer truck mentality, but right now I'm not there. But hey, there's a cost involved no matter what. It doesn't matter whether you buy a newer truck or you buy an older truck, there's going to be a cost involved. And what I'm saying to you, or what I'm trying to say to you, and hope that you get out of this, is that you can become so overwhelmed with the operating cost of running the vehicle that you lose track of why you're doing it to begin with, okay? And that's the point I want you to take away from this, is don't get so overwhelmed with the operating expense that you start to question the bigger picture, okay? Keep the bigger picture in mind and everything else will fit right where it belongs. And it's it's fairly rough. I've had people comment on the fact that I try to keep a pretty good attitude, and that I don't really let a lot of things get to me, and I appreciate that, because I do try to keep a pretty good attitude about it, but it does get to me. It's expensive, it's frustrating. I've got bills that I still need to pay, and I'm not going to rest until they're all paid. But when I'm putting this money into this truck, and I'm not able to save the money that I want for the truck, it gets frustrating, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I try to keep a good attitude, but at the same time, don't mistake that and think it doesn't get to me, because it does, without a doubt. You guys, go a long way to really keep me motivated. And if my videos help motivate you, I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's why I do it. You know, I mean, I do it to keep in touch with my family and let everybody know what's going on, but it's becoming more than that. It's becoming important to me that all of y'all gain something out of the videos. So I just wanted to let y'all know that everything is going good. I appreciate the support. I don't have any complaints yet. Hopefully I won't have any. Alright, y'all take care. We'll catch you the next time, probably when I come home. And peace out.